dare speak to me in that tone of voice, boy?
Hello everyone, Pentoof here today for a new video in which we're gonna talk about premium tanks. As you may or may not know, the game is filled with premiums and collectible tanks, and most of them are literally awesome. But here we are gonna try to select 5 of them for you to know which tanks you should definitely try to get into your garage, or if I say it differently, all the tanks, premiums and collectible that will make you tons of credits while really having fun when playing them. So let's not lose too much time and talk about the top 5 must-have premium tanks in your garage. The first one we need to talk about is the tier 7 from the Blitz Nation, a medium tank called the Dracula. If you're an OG of this game, you probably already have this tank in your garage because it was available 3 or even 4 years ago into an Halloween event, and it was completely for free with DLC. What makes it a great tank is probably its mobility, that it's literally insane. With this tank you can go up to 70 km per hour, so you're gonna be even faster than most lights at tier 7 while being a medium tank. If you combine that with the fact that this tank has an amazing gun depression which makes it extremely comfortable regardless of the map, you have one of the most destructive tanks you can play at tier 7. Of course it requires a minimum of skill, as this tank is definitely not made for new players simply because it doesn't have any armor, so you're gonna be punished for every single mistakes you do. But as soon as you know how to play it, oh boy, is it gonna become one of your favorite and most played tanks. Number 2, the T22 Medium. No, with this tank you will not make as much credits as with other tier 10 collectibles, because this one only has the collectible status without the enriching factor. But don't worry, you will compensate with its amazing and trollish armor. This tank has everything T62A and Object 140 dreamed of. You have literally the same tank as the T62A, but the main difference is you are better in every single aspect. You have an amazing turret armor without any weak spots, you have an amazing tracker speed, you have an amazing reload time. Everything is amazing about this tank. But what amazes me the most is probably its side armor, which will allow you to bounce even the most penetrating tanks at tier 10 like the Ori. Also, the bonus factor of this tank is that as you're literally broken, you are not gonna be punished for most of your mistakes. 1 shot out of 2 that you're gonna receive is gonna bounce, and therefore it makes it an excellent tank to sustain on the battlefield. That's my go-to tank for ratings, for example, if you really wanna have fun while destroying your targets. Also, for those of you that are seeking the T22 Medium, I'm sorry to tell you that this tank will never be available in direct purchase. It's gonna be in crates all the time. Number 3, and an affordable one, the Chieftain Mark 6. What is amazing about this tank is how easy it is to adapt to its playstyle, but also to the enemy playstyle. This tank has everything to seduce you regardless of what you're fighting against. For example, if you play against mediums, just use your regular AP and being all down, they will not be able to penetrate you. If you're facing light tanks, just aim at them and shoot HE, you're gonna have like 520 alpha damage, which will make you destroy them in only 3 shots. And if you're facing heavies, just being all down and use gold shells when you have to. This tank is so versatile that I do not consider it as a heavy tank, but most likely as an MBT, a medium battle tier. You can do everything, and that's what makes it lovable. The only thing you need to care about when you're playing this tank is when you're in all down, make sure that you're not facing tank destroyers, because if they load gold shells, they can go through that big ass turret, so be aware of this before going into these kind of positions. Also, the fact that it's the first tier 10 premium tank implemented in this game made me think that Wargaming didn't really know how to balance the credits it will earn. I really find that the Chieftain, out of all the collectibles at tier 10, is the tank that makes the most credits, which is something we are clearly looking for it, as we all need credits to grind those amazing lines Wargaming has to propose to us. One last thing to talk about concerning the Chieftain is probably its DPM while playing with HE. If you manage to shoot HEs for a minute straight into your opponents and penetrating, I can tell you you're the biggest nightmare World of Tanks Blitz ever saw. And that's probably why this tank deserves its place in this top. Number 4, the Smasher, and you're gonna see in 2 seconds why this tank is in this top. Let's wait for it, and derp. This tank is ridiculously OP because when you manage to penetrate with HE tier 6 or tier 7, you are gonna one-shot them nearly 99% of the time. And despite the fact that you don't have the best gun depression in the world or even the best reload time, the fact that you don't even need to penetrate your targets to damage them makes it completely broken. You're stuck against enemies that are in all down, just shoot HE until they die. You're stuck against the medium side scraping and you can penetrate him, just shoot HE at his side until he dies. That's what the Smasher is all about. And if you add on top of that the fact that the Smasher has a really good turret armor simply because its gun mantlet is quite huge, you're gonna have a lot of unexpected bounces which will make you sustain more on the battlefield and therefore expand your lifetime and the credits you could possibly earn from the game. Also, when you're facing targets that are really armored, just switch to gold. The amazing 250mm of penetration this tank has makes everything looks like butter when you're aiming at them with your heat shells. Overall, to me, the Smasher is and will stay the best premium tank you could ever have in your garage simply because of how broken it is against the tanks it's facing. And finally, the funniest premium tank you can ever have in your garage is the Keniotsu. This premium Japanese tier 3 tank was on sale at least 5 years ago, and it was on sale only one time before Wargaming decided to remove it completely from the game, or at least from the shops. You might ask yourself why? Simply because at tier 3 with this tank you have a better DPM than most tier 8s. This tank is so powerful that you don't even need to have teammates to win. I literally saw some gameplays where this tank is in a 1 versus 7 situation and still winning. But despite the fact that this tank has an amazing DPM that is completely broken, what makes it even more broken is that you're playing at tier 3, where literally nobody has a clue what they're doing. Most people that will encounter the Keniotsu nowadays don't have a clue of how powerful that tank is and that you never should at least push it frontally or things like that, and yet people will do it. And trust me, when people don't have a clue how to play against the most broken tank in the history of World of Tanks Blitz, I can tell you, you're gonna have a lot of wins. This is the perfect tank if you want to farm ace and increase your win rate. Unfortunately, I don't think Wargaming is ever putting back this tank into the shop, but oh boy do I wish it will come back so I can finally put my hands on one of these. This video is now over. Feel free to tell me in the comments what are your go-to tanks, most fun tanks to play, especially premiums, because that's the subject of the video. I would be curious about the opinion of literally everybody there, so feel free to leave a comment and tell me. Don't forget also to subscribe, like and share if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, probably tomorrow or maybe a stream, probably tonight. See ya guys.